All of you, please stand.
Hello, check. Hello, check. Good morning, Nagaland. Good morning, Nagaland. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you happy? Yes. So, we are very happy. So, why don't we do a dance called Happy Day? Yes? Are you ready? Okay.
Been looking at the sky for a little while. Watch the clouds roll by, and I start to smile. Our Father ever, and as the plane flies past, I give a friendly wave. And then I think about you. What a happy day. And I fly, fly, fly like a pilot. I'm as strong, strong, strong as a lion. I'm as high, high, high as a mountain in the sky. And I jump, jump, jump like a kangaroo. I swim, swim, swim to be close to you. I shake, shake, shake you by the hand. We'll be friends till the end. This is such a happy day. This is such a happy day. Hey, what a happy day. This is such a happy day. And I fly, fly, fly like a pilot. I'm as strong, strong, strong as a lion. I'm as high, high, high as a mountain in the sky. And I jump, jump, jump like a kangaroo. I swim, swim, swim to be close to you. I shake, shake, shake you by the hand. We'll be friends till the end. This is such a happy day. This is such a happy day. Hey, what a happy day. This is such a happy day. And I fly, fly, fly like a pilot. I'm as strong, strong, strong as a lion. I'm as high, high, high as a mountain in the sky. And I jump, jump, jump like a kangaroo. I swim, swim, swim to be close to you. I shake, shake, shake you by the hand. We'll be friends till the end. This is such a happy day. This is such a happy day. Hey, what a happy day. This is such a happy day. And I fly, fly, fly like a pilot. I'm as strong, strong, strong as a lion. I'm as high, high, high as a mountain in the sky. And I jump, jump, jump like a kangaroo. I swim, swim, swim to be close to you. I shake, shake, shake you by the hand. We'll be friends till the end. This is such a happy day. This is such a happy day. What a happy, happy day. This is such a happy day. This is such a happy day.
कौन है राजाओं का राजा, कौन है दुनिया का बादशाह, कौन है राजाओं का राजा, कौन है दुनिया का बादशाह।
यीशु है उसका नाम, यीशु है उसका नाम।
तो करो जय जयकार, तो करो जय जयकार। उसको उठाया है, मौत को हराया है। अनुग्रह से उसके हमने उद्धार पाया है, अनुग्रह से उसके हमने उद्धार पाया है। कौन है राजाओं का राजा, कौन है दुनिया का बादशाह, कौन है राजाओं का राजा, कौन है दुनिया का बादशाह। यीशु है उसका नाम, यीशु है उसका नाम। तो करो जय जयकार, 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 तो करो जय
Wow, what a beautiful and energetic start to our day. Did you all fly? Did you all jump? All right. A big thank you to the Meow Diocese for leading us in such a joyful and spirit-filled animation session. Let's carry the energy forward as we begin the next program. Now, with our minds and hearts energized, we are ready to dive into our first session of the day. Are you all ready? Are you all ready? All right. So, to lead us in this important reflection, we are blessed with the presence of Miss Atlina Kerketa, a respected specialist in medical and social work. So today's topic is both relevant and relatable, navigating peer pressure and the world. To give us a formal introduction of our speaker, I now invite Ms. Jurika Teronpi, MISARC Female Coordinator, to kindly take the stage. Let's give her a warm applause.
Good morning to all the respected dignitaries, delegates, and fellow participants. It is both an honor and privilege to introduce the esteemed speaker for this session, Assistant Professor Atlina Kerketa. Ms. Kerketa is a distinguished academic and a passionate professional in the field of social work. She currently serves as an assistant professor and is pursuing her PhD in social work. Her academic credentials include an MPhil in psychiatric social work and a master's degree in social work with a specialization in medical and psychiatric social work. Her deep knowledge, especially in the area of mental health and youth development, equips her uniquely to address the theme of today's session, navigating peer pressure and the world. As we journey through this regional youth convention, under the powerful theme, Pilgrims of Hope, we are reminded of our calling as young people to be not just followers, but active navigators of hope in a world full of challenges and competing influences. In times when peer pressure can blur our direction, our faith and resilience must anchor us. It is this light that today's session holds profound relevance. We are truly privileged to have Ms. Kerketa with us today to guide us through this conversation, to help us reflect, understand, and grow as young leaders committed to hope, courage, and purposeful living. Dear friends, please join me in warmly welcoming Atlina Kerketa.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction. I was addressed as assistant professor. So sorry to inform you that I am yet to be assistant professor. It's really a pleasure to be here today and talk something about very important aspects of our life, that is peer pressure, that affects each and every one of us in some point in time. Whether we are students or whether we are working professionals or whether we are individuals who are simply trying to find our path in our life, we are all going to experience peer pressure in some point of time. Peer pressure will come in different forms. Peer pressure is something that doesn't come like a punch on our face and make us realize the changes that we'll have in our life. But it is something that comes slowly, where we will feel very comfortable, we will feel very natural, without even realizing how peer pressure affects our behaviors, our actions, our thoughts. We are all living in a world which is very complex, a world that is changing rapidly. With advancement of technology, science, in such situation, staying true to ourselves, with all our beliefs, with all our values, with all our identities, and with all our dreams, has really become a challenging task for many of us. What is the first thing that comes to our mind what is the first thing that comes to our mind when we say peer pressure? What do we think? Which age groups are more affected by peer pressure? Is it only the teenage groups or also the adults? Can I get some answer from anywhere? Yes, it's both. But teenagers are the more vulnerable group because it is the formation age for them, where their beliefs, their values are not completely formed. They are in a stage where they look for confirmation, they look for approval, in a stage where they are in identity crisis. But what if I tell you that peer pressure is not something which is not possible to handle? It is possible. The only thing that we need to do is to recognize, to understand how it influences us, how it influences our behavior. Only when we know the presence of it, we will be able to handle peer pressure effectively. Is it possible to handle peer pressure? Yes or no? So let us explore today what are the effective ways of handling peer pressure. So before I go further with my presentations, I have prepared PPT. So I need to use this PPT to do justice to the effort that I have put making the PPT for you all. So before I go further with my talk, let me share with you a very small story, which many of you might be knowing her. A girl who is born in a family. Her mom was a teacher by profession. Her father was a businessman, well-known businessman in Assam. Many might be knowing him and many might not be aware of him. And she had one brother. When she was very young, their parents got separated. I think she might be in class 7, class 8 or something. And her brother also goes to pursue his studies. So she was all alone in the house, feeling very lonely. Because her mom used to go to school, she also used to go to school. She used to observe that how her neighborhood children used to get all the love and affection from both of their parents. She was not able to process with the thought that why both her parents doesn't stay together. That was the thing that constantly kept bothering her. She used to feel very depressed when she sees other children going for shopping or playing with their father. She did not experience the love of a father. Her mom was always there to support her, but she was lacking something. What was that? The love of her father, the attention from her father, the guidance from her father. So she also had an aim to become an IS officer. So she was studying very hard. But in that process, because she was going through with all those negative thoughts, or she was feeling very lonely, she also had friends with whom she got influenced, and she learned, because she wanted to cope up with all her negative thoughts, she wanted to try one day alcohol. She tried. Second day she tried. Third day she tried. So this continued for some time, but later on, it became habit for her. And then she was not taking alcohol with her friends, but she was taking alone. She passed her matriculation with good mark, but she was not satisfied. She passed with first division with letter marks, but she was not satisfied because it did not fulfill her expectations. Then she did her higher secondary. In higher secondary also, she was not able to reach up to her expectation. So after that, when she reached, wanted to pursue her undergraduate, she told her mother that she wanted to go Guwahati and pursue her studies. So she went there, she stayed in a hostel. There, she shared her room with a friend. Her friend was very studious. By looking at her, she also wanted to study. She tried her best. But what was the thing that pulled her back was she was already addicted to alcohol. So when her friends go to sleep, she used to take alcohol. So because she was already addicted, frequently she wanted to use alcohol. So in that way, she used to miss her classes. She was not able to perform well in her class. But she passed her bachelor's degree. But this time, not with first division, but second division. While she was pursuing her graduation, she also tried exploring other substances like marijuana, tablets, and all those things. And then, because she wanted to become IS officer, she told her mother that this time she will do her master's. So she enrolled herself in a university, and she was the first batch to pursue, and that was the first time that they started this course, business administration, if I am not mistaken. And then there she meets friends. So college and universities are a place where no one is going to police you. No one will be there with you always to tell you, you need to go to school, or you need to go to college, you need to study. Because it's our own interest that we want to pursue, right? There she started another substance. She started injecting herself, heroin. She was too addicted that her brain did not function well. She was overdosed. Somehow she cleared her first semester, but she was not able to clear her second semester. Her mom used to give her, support her with all education related things financially, but she was still in touch with her father. She used to get pocket money because her father was very rich. Her father never asked her, what did she do with the money? She used to, the money that she receives from her mom, she used to pay her school fees and other things, education related purpose. But the money that she gets from her father, she used to utilize that for substances. Unfortunately, her father passed away and she stopped receiving money. She was not able to buy any more substances. She did not take her enrollment in second semester, masters. And then she also used to ride bike. So one day she met an accident. She was taken to hospital. After all the examinations, doctors found that she was intoxicated when she met an accident. Her mom came to know that she met an accident and she is admitted in the hospital. So doctors told her everything, what happened to her. And they also revealed that she is a drug addict. Can you guess what was the reaction of her mom? She might be surprised, right? That was the first time that she came to know that her daughter was a drug addict person. But it was her daughter, she loved her. She wanted her daughter to get well soon and do well again in her life. It took her 3 months to get cured from that injuries that she got from the accident. So people started her talking very badly about her. Her neighbors came to know about her relatives came to know. So they started talking very badly about her. And then they met one of her relative, I think, who told her mom that she can be treated with this behavior. Her mom refused, saying that her daughter is not mad. She doesn't want to send her to an de-addiction center. She thought that de-addiction centers are meant for people who are not mentally sound. Her uncle made her mom understand that de-addiction center is a center where people get treatment and get help to come out from the behavior. And they will teach them different techniques, methods to maintain a free substance behavior, right? And then her mom agreed to send her to an de-addiction center. So because there was no any female de-addiction center in Northeast, they sent her to Kolkata. There she stayed maybe 6 months or 1 year. There she learned how to manage her substance use behavior. So when they gave her discharge, they also referred her to one group, where this group is to meet twice in a month. There she meets a friend, and they became partners. When she came back from Kolkata, when she was in Kolkata, she already had a dream. She already had an aim that she will make a female de-addiction center. So now, she got married, she got support from her mother, she got support from her husband. Initially, it was difficult, but she managed to establish a female de-addiction center. And now she is helping so many people with the substance use behavior. So many people from Northeast are benefiting from that. Not only the people who are addicted to the behavior, but also the family members. Because not only the person goes through the problem, but it also bothers the other family members. The other family members are also always in stress, thinking that why their child is behaving in this way. Please remember this story. I'll be connecting all my presentation through this story. So in today's talk, I'm going to cover these points. What is peer pressure? Factors influencing peer pressure. It's okay. What does navigating peer pressure means? Types and forms of peer pressure. Impact of peer pressure in individual's life. Dealing with peer pressure. Religious perspective in navigating peer pressure. So when we say peer pressure, what do we understand by peer pressure? What do we understand by peer pressure? Peer is the same group, right? Peer pressure is the process which influences an individual from the same age group or social circle to behave in a certain way, to conform to a behavior, certain behaviors, attitudes, and beliefs. As I said initially, that peer pressure not only affects the person, not only affects teenagers, but it also affects adults. Yes? Does it affect peer pressure? Somewhere or the other, we always look for approval from the time of our interaction, right? We want to belong to that group. We want to get approval. There are different types of peer pressure. Positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. It comes in different forms. It could be either direct or indirect. What could be the different factors that affects an individual with peer pressure? What could be the different factors? First is the individual factor. As I said, age is one of the factors that affects a person. Teenagers are the more vulnerable group to get influenced by peer pressure. But it also affects other individuals, other adults. Middle age and old age people are less influenced by peer pressure. Why do we think middle age and old age people will be less affected by peer pressure? What could be the reason? Once we cross teenage or we cross certain age, we already know how to handle peer pressure, right? We have already developed. We know what we believe. We know what is right. We know where we want to belong. there are different personality traits. It is very complex, but certain personality traits are very vulnerable to peer pressure. For example, people with low self-esteem may be significantly influenced by peer pressure. Other one is neuroticism personality trait. Because neuroticism personality is characterized with negative emotions, anxiety. Everything is low, everything is negative. That's why that kind of personality has more influence to peer pressure. Personality traits like agreeableness, conscientiousness are more to get influenced by positive peer pressure because they are more open to criticism. They can take criticism. It doesn't affect them. They go and talk with people because they are open, right? So next is the family environment. Remember the story that I told you in the beginning, right? The story of a girl. It is very important. Parenting is very important. The kind of parenting they receive from childhood is very important. Healthy parenting helps a person to develop healthy behaviors because they are there to guide them, they are there to support them. It helps them to develop a self-esteem, positive, right? And force them to do good things. But unhealthy parenting, where parents are not available for them, for their emotional support, for their needs, they are more susceptible to negative peer pressure. And in a family where there is always fight or there is no healthy communication, there is always nagging each other's behavior. So that kind of individuals are more susceptible to peer pressure. Other thing is the social media or online platform. Why do we think social media and online platform will influence a person negatively influence a person? We don't have control to social media, right? We can scroll anytime. If you don't know how to keep boundaries or how to control ourselves, like what time we are going to use our mobile phones, what time we are going to do our studies. Instead of doing our studies, we are always using mobile phone. Will we be able to do well in our studies? Because we are giving most of our time in scrolling social medias. Social media is very addictive. Do you think it's addictive? Why do you think it's addictive? It's very interesting, right? We browse one thing and then we feel like, oh, let me browse the other thing also. We find something, it leads us from one to another. Substance use is also same, right? Once we get used to substance, we get the taste of substance. We want to explore different things. Social media is something where it makes an individual to compare oneself, to do well from another person. Other person is doing well in social media, so let me also do well, to go with the trend and get viral. Therefore, we try to create reels which will get viral easily. I think most of you have must seen reels, right? There are also reels where people climb up to the trees, and what they do? They dance, right? There are lots of bike stands, not only the boys, but also girls they do. Right? So, we don't want to miss out any of the trend. We are fear that we will be left out. That's why we want to go with the trend. That's why we are involved in so many risk-taking behaviors. Other factor that affects social media is not always bad. It also helps us in many things. There is also positive aspect in it. It helps us, since it's a technology years, what we do, most of the studies we do in our mobile phones or in laptops, right? So it helps us to pursue our career. It helps us. It promotes healthy behaviors. We want to follow certain influencers who provide some kind of tips, healthy habits, like how to maintain diet. Not to have that zero figure, but a healthy figure. And other factor that influence a person is the social norms. Social norms are the standard behaviors that help us to behave in a society in certain ways. Here also we have a social norms, right? That's why we are able to sit quietly and listen to the speaker, right? So we are taught how to behave certain way, how to behave differently in different settings, which are socially appropriate, which are socially approved. There are institutes like religious institutes, schools, community settings that help us to develop healthy behaviors. What does navigating peer pressure means? Navigating peer pressure is simply to understand and to recognize, to understand how it influences us, how it influences our behavior, how it influences our beliefs, our dreams, our identities. It helps us to recognize how peer pressure works. There are different strategies, there are different methods that helps to navigate peer pressure. How to identify negative peer pressure? How are we going to identify that we are being affected by negative peer pressure? Can anyone tell me how are we going to identify negative peer pressure? There will be changes in our behavior, right? We will not behave like how we used to behave. There will be change in our attitudes, our perceptions, our interest. Changes in more chances of getting involved into risk-taking behaviors, getting indulged with bad companion, and getting involved to substance use behaviors or some delinquencies behavior. Like the person will be having low self-esteem, anxiety, stress, isolated. The person will be image conscious, how I am looking, how I should appear. That will be constantly bothering the person. Conformity in choices. The person will conform in certain behaviors to fit into the group. Irregular in school or performing the work. There will be decline in academic performances, and also there will be decline. Their roles and expected responsibilities will not be carried out as expected. So these are the certain signs and symptoms through which we will be able to identify how negative peer pressure affects a person. What are the two types of peer pressure that I have mentioned earlier? What are the two types of peer pressure? There is positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. Positive peer pressure is something that encourages an individual to do well in life. It will help the person to achieve something in life. And negative peer pressure is something that will encourage the person to involve into certain behaviors that affects the person. It's because the person is not aligning with his or her personal beliefs, values, right? So the person will easily get conformed with the peer group's norms. So positive peer pressure, it helps to complete our tasks. It also helps in involving in healthy behaviors, doing healthy activities. Can we think any person from our church who is working for the youth, who inspired many to love the youth and to do something for the youth? Who is that person? He is the father of youth. Who is the father of youth? Don Bosco, right? He did many good things. He have inspired many people. He loved youth despite of their negative behaviors. He did not like punishment, so he loved them. And he did so many good things to encourage the youths to do well in life, right? Positive peer pressure also help us in developing some pro-social behaviors. Like it will encourage, the peer groups will encourage us to involve in the activities that will help others, like volunteering ourselves for the good cause of others, where everyone is going to benefit from it. It encourages us to help someone who is struggling with the studies or who is struggling with certain financial difficulties. What is the positive effect of positive peer pressure? Achievement and growth. It helps to promote self-esteem, self-confidence. When we are in positive peer group, it will help us to be positive. It helps us to be confident, right? The positive peer groups will not encourage or they will not let us down. They will always encourage us to do well. So in that way, we are able to build a self-confidence, critical thinking. We are able to make good judgment of things. We are able to effectively solve the problem. Develop empathetic skills by trying to understand how other peoples are feeling, what are the sufferings that they are going through. Skill development, building support. These are some of the positive effect that happens due to positive peer pressure. Negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure is something that encourages us to confirm our beliefs and values, right? So they will encourage. So what happens here? It affects an individual to behave in certain way, behave inappropriately, not following the norms, rules. They always want to break their rules. Bullying. They may indulge in bullying. I'm sure there are many who have gone through, who have experienced bullying. We know Priyanka Chopra, right? Where did she pursue her studies? Her initial days of her school? She did in US, right? When she was doing her studies, because she was from India, she had this dusky skin color. Her accent was different from the people in US. So they used to tell her, criticize her, because the way she looked, the way she talked, it affected her so badly. She didn't have self-confidence. Her self-confidence was very low. There are many instances which we can think. Are we also a victim of when we were in schools? Can you recall any incidents such where you were being bullied by your peer groups? Yes, right? It encourages us to bunk class. I also want to tell one of the experience that I had during this. Not that I bunk class, but as a tutor, I experienced this. So I was asked by my supervisor to take class. I went to the class. I prepared myself well for 2 days to take the classes for master students. And when I went to the class, I did not find anyone in the class. The class was empty. They all bunked, massive bunk. So when I called them, what did they say? Ma'am, we don't know that we have class. They are aware that they have class and that is my class. But since the supervisor was not there in the campus, they thought that, oh, we can bunk the class. So they influenced those who wanted to attend the class also. Maybe among the group, there might be 1 or 2 persons who wanted to attend the class. But because no one is going to attend the class, the other person also followed. Risky behaviors. It encouraged to get into risky behaviors. Like I said, substance use, get into breaking the rules of the classes, breaking social norms, skipping roles and responsibilities. What are the negative impact of negative peer pressure? There is stress, there is low self-confidence in a person. The person might go through depression also, feeling lonely, feeling anxious about certain things, feeling fearful. These are some of the negative aspects, negative outcome of negative peer pressure. Not outcome, sorry, this some impact. Some of the external problems could be being very aggressive, often involving into physical fight or verbal arguments. Rule breakers or delinquencies, not following, getting involved into illegal activities. Substance uses, hyperactivity, right? Not able to do the work properly, very hyper, not able to focus or concentrate, not attentive. Impulsive behavior, there is the urge of doing something. Low academic performance. The story that I shared before, the girl was aspired to become an IS officer, but because of indulging into negative peer pressure, her academic performance was low. She was not able to perform well in her academic activities. And loss of individuality. We are not who we are. We are not able to take decisions by ourselves. We will conform to certain behaviors which is suitable to that group where we will be accepted, where our behaviors will be approved. Dealing with peer pressure. There are different ways, there are different techniques how we can effectively handle peer pressure. The first thing that we need to inculcate is self-awareness. We need to be aware of who we are, what we want in life, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. When we know who we are, we will align with our actions and behaviors. Self-awareness is something that works like a shield that will protect us from getting affected by negative influences. How do we cultivate self-awareness? By doing self-reflection, evaluating self-reflections in a way, what we want in life, who we are, the things that we are doing is right or wrong, journaling our thoughts. Journaling our thought is very important. Do any one of us have this practice of journaling our thoughts? Anyone? It's very important to journal our thoughts. How? This will help us to know how our thought processes. Identify our core beliefs, right? What we believe, what is our belief. It will help us to have clarity in life. And surround ourselves with like-minded people who will encourage us to do good, who will encourage us to involve in a behavior that is socially acceptable, who will help us to build self-confidence, right? So we should be able to surround ourselves with those like-minded people. We should be able to choose mindfully whom we are making friends, whom we are hanging out with. And choosing supportive social circles, which is very important. The second thing is setting boundaries. When we are asked to do certain things, and that will happen only when we are firm with our beliefs, personal values. Well, we know what are our values, what are our beliefs, what we believe, what we want in life, what do we want to achieve. Then only we will be able to do this. This is often very difficult. When someone asks us to do something, it's very difficult to say no for many of us maybe. So, saying no when you are asked to do something confidently, without any hesitations, but not aggressively, but in polite way. And also having some alternative solutions. If someone is telling us that let us not go and attend this program or attend the class, we can say that, okay, we will sit for some time and then we will attend this class, maybe we will think what we can do next. If someone is asking us, oh, nothing will happen, can you try the substance for a small sip? Can you take small sip? The person should be able to say no. Walking away. When we think that those behavior doesn't align with us, we can just walk away from that. In handling peer pressure, emotional resilience is very important. Emotional resilience is something that helps us to bounce back from adverse situations. It helps us to deal effectively with our negative behaviors. Develop healthy coping strategies. Embracing individuality. Like, no one is same, everyone is different. We are unique in that way, right? So we have different interests, different goals, different beliefs. We should be able to accept who we are. Only then we will be able to overcome certain negative influences. Only when we know what we want in life and what we don't want in life. Practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is another way through which we can navigate our peer pressure. Meditations, like practicing some mindfulness, doing this, sitting in a quiet place, reflecting on something, walking and meditating. So in this way, we will be able to handle how mindfulness helps. It helps to calm our mind from this unrest minds. When we are too stressed, deep breathing exercise help us. It helps us to regulate our emotions. It helps us to create self-awareness. It also helps us to have a better sleep. Attention and concentration, these are the benefits of practicing mindfulness. Ability to lead others, developing that leadership quality where we will be able to inspire others instead of simply following someone, right? To do that, we need to have a strong personality. We need to be confident enough. Seeking help. When we are with problem, it's very important that we seek help. We need to seek help from people who are experienced, who are professionals, whom we think that they are capable of guiding us. In terms of mental health, there are counselors, there are therapists who will be able to help us to overcome our negative behaviors. It is not something that we need to approach to mental health professionals only when we are mentally ill. We can also approach people, professionals, when we are in a confusion state. We are in dilemma. We are not knowing what to do, what decision to take. We can always seek help from them. Religious perspective in navigating peer pressure. What could be the techniques that we can use to navigate peer pressure? Somebody said something. There are different ways which we can do it, right? The first thing that we need to do is build a relationship with God. Build a relationship with God. How can we do that? Building relationship with God. What are the different ways? Read Bible, the Word of God, say our prayers, receive our sacraments, seek social support. Saying prayer where we are involved, where there is family prayer, going to churches on every Sundays, attending prayer services. We are making friends with people or from the community who has the same belief, right? We can also have friends with others, other believers also. But we should know what are our beliefs and how they are guiding us. The 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 33 says, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." When we read Bible, we should also be able to reflect, right? What the Bible is saying us, how it is guiding us. Only reading Bible will not be enough, I think. We should also have a reflection on it. I am asked to sum up in 5 minutes, so I will be very brief. As I have already said, frequenting sacraments, having prayers, family prayers, attending mass services on Sundays, and attending prayer services. Meditations, which I have already said earlier. How we can stay true to ourselves? The first thing is to have self-awareness. We need to be authentic to ourselves. We need to be honest, integrity. We should be aware of what are our personal beliefs, what are our values, what are our dreams, identities. Then only we will be able to stay true to ourselves. It is very important to develop this pro-social behavior in children, right, from very young age. Teaching them how to share their tiffin with others or how to be an empathetic. These are some of the social behaviors that will help us to inculcate, that will help an individual to inculcate good habits in future. Coming to the conclusion, peer pressure is not something that affects only the teenagers, but all age groups at some point or the other might get affected from peer pressure. If you are able to recognize it in very early stages and develop self-awareness, develop effective coping strategies, I think we will be able to handle peer pressure, right? Thank you. Thank you for patiently listening to me.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for your insightful session. Now, I will request the delegates, if anyone would like to ask question, we will take only one question, since we are running short of time. Only one question.
Do you have anything to ask? No.
Anyone?
If no question,
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Mr. Perkhat Langlingdo to graciously offer a vote of thanks. Ma'am, can you please sit here? Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Can you take your seat here?
A very good morning to you all. It is my honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks for the insightful and thought-provoking sessions navigating peer pressure in the world. On behalf of all of us, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Edlina Kerketa for sharing her knowledge and experience with such clarity, compassion, and depth. Your expertise in medical and psychiatric work has truly helped us understand the complexity of peer pressure and its impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Especially in today's world, you have not only helped us recognize the signs of unhealthy peer influence, but also empowered us with practical strategies to stay grounded, make informed choices, and build inner resilience. Your talk was more than informative. It was inspiring and empowering. We are truly grateful for the time and effort you have taken to be with us today. Thank you for encouraging us to be stronger, more self-aware, and more supportive of one another. To everyone present here, thank you for your participation and attentive presence. Let us carry today's learning forward and continue to support each other in navigating life's challenges with courage and wisdom. Now I would like to invite our EXCO member, Ms. Rublin, to come forward and felicitate our esteemed resource person, Ms. Edlina Kerteka, which will be followed by the felicitation from the host.
Good morning. I, on behalf of the Kohima Diocese, would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to Miss Atlina Kirkita. May I please request Miss Veronica to do the honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to the Mass, I have some information. For those delegates who are not having the ID card, you are requested to stay inside the hall. You will attend the Mass from here. Only those who are having the ID cards, you can go to the hall, to the cathedral, which will start at 10 a.m. sharp. Some other informations, we have the vehicle numbers, 27D7507 Wagoner. Please repark your vehicle outside of the campus. And